noticed that throughout the Call of Duty franchise, there's an absurdly high number of cows that have appeared throughout the years? Yes, cows. C-O-W-S in Call of Duty. Actually, one thing that's really interesting is that while at first glance it may just look like a random set piece, as it turns out, this has been an ongoing Easter egg throughout the Call of Duty franchise, dating all the way back to the very first Call of Duty game. And if we want to really go down the rabbit hole, as it turns out, there's some deeper meaning to these cows that serve as the reason that these cows show up in the Call of Duty games. Essentially, they're references to something else even bigger, but also has become a recurring nod to previous Call of Duty games that had cow Easter eggs in them as well. So this all started in Call of Duty 1, where in some of the Normandy levels, there are some dead cows in a field that you can use for cover. And this also even showed up in Call of Duty 2, and as a small subtle Easter egg in the credits of the game, Infinity Ward actually included no cows were harmed in the making of this game, for both COD 1 and 2. Actually, in Call of Duty United Offensive, which released exclusively on PC, there's an Easter egg where if you no-clip it through a door going into a basement, you can find this giant oversized cow that has a bell around his neck. It's just kind of interesting. And in the Call of Duty 3 multiplayer, there's some more of these cows over here as well. By the time 2007 rolled around, in time for Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and Call of Duty's jump away from the World War II theme into the more modern day combat, Infinity Ward would not break the trend that they started, having cows make an appearance in the campaign level's safe house and heat in the fields that are near the barn. At this point, it was becoming more and more of a running gag at Activision across all Call of Duty games, where even Treyarch was sure to include a cow Easter egg in one way or another. Within World at War, on the level Their Land, Their Blood, there is a dead German that's laying on top of one of the cows, which is found inside of the barn right next to one of the death cards, which was a collectible back in World at War that gave you special abilities. But just the fact that they paired this cow Easter egg right next to a collectible kind of shows that this is more than just an ongoing coincidence, whether it's showing up in the credits or just the fact that it's been in every Call of Duty so far. It just kind of seems like one of the most important features of any Call of Duty game at this point. Modern Warfare 2 continued this trend also, where actually across many different multiplayer maps, you can see various cows, such as in this field on the multiplayer level Rundown, and also you can find it over on the multiplayer map Wasteland, which is a remake of Call of Duty 1 and 2's Brecourt, which also had dead cows in the original version, and then Modern Warfare 2 brought it back and made sure to include dead cows here as well. Call of Duty Black Ops by 2010 still made sure to have cows incorporated in one way or another, though admittedly this time around it was a little bit different than just having some dead cows somewhere. These cows are actually alive, and they show up in Dead Ops Arcade, where they're a bunch of animals that'll just kind of walk across the map in a single file line, and if you walk in front of the cows, you'll end up actually getting trampled, and they're incorporated as kind of an extra challenge in the game itself. They can only actually be killed with explosives, and if you manage to kill some glowing cows, which is just kind of an amazing phrase I never thought I'd have to say, you actually get a large amount of treasure once they are killed. In Modern Warfare 3, there's a couple of brief cows that make appearances in this game, which is back on the grid, where you can see it right in front of the watchtower. Then on the multiplayer map Lookout, you can see some tangled up in barbed wire, and there's some more dead cows on the multiplayer map Vortex. Okay, but then things get a little bit more complicated when we look at this tradition of having a cow appear in every Call of Duty game, because as far as we can tell, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 does not have a cow appear in any instance throughout the entire game. We checked the multiplayer maps, we looked through the campaign, and we couldn't find anything, nor could we find any documentation of people finding cows online. Though, to be fair, this isn't necessarily the most sought after Black Ops 2 Easter egg in all of existence, so we could be missing something. So if anyone finds a cow in Black Ops 2, it would be really interesting, though it does seem like this is kind of where the trend of cows appearing in every single Call of Duty game starts to go away a little bit, though Call of Duty Ghosts does keep the trend going, which was an Infinity Ward game once again, where if you go on the giant map in Ghosts called Stonehaven, you go to a field outside the map, and if you climb up on the second floor, you can actually see some cows in the distance with a sniper rifle. So hey, they made it at least this far in Call of Duty as well. Advanced Warfare was the first Call of Duty game that was made by Sledgehammer Games, and unfortunately we couldn't also find any cow references in this game, though once again we could be missing something, so if we are, please do let us know. We really need to know this. So we can't help but to wonder if Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was originally supposed to have Dead Ops Arcade and then just didn't, because Dead Ops Arcade did make a return in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. We do see the return of zombie cows in one form or another, so we can see the cow trend kind of picking up yet one more time. Okay, then we go to Infinity Ward, who started this whole thing at the beginning and had continuously included cows in one way or another, even through Call of Duty Ghosts, and with their next Call of Duty entry, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, the game went to space. It was wild. There are things just going on in outer space. There wasn't a whole lot of room to maybe sprinkle in a cow or two in the campaign. Though, the one thing that we did catch that we thought is incredibly interesting is that in the credits of the game, it has this little pop-up at the end that no robots were harmed in the making of this game, which in a way is a reference to the very first Call of Duty game that had that same disclaimer saying that there were no cows harmed in the making of the game. So while there's no cows, the little reference kind of lives on in one way or another with another Infinity Ward title. Call of Duty World War II was an interesting one because it did see the return of cows in some form or another. It's not very heavily documented other than art station posts, but I mean, look at these are definitely cows. Next we had Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which didn't have a campaign, but it did introduce Blackout, but as far as we can tell, no cows, unfortunately. Though when Infinity Ward made its return once again, we did see a couple of dead cows show up in Modern Warfare 2019. Also, there was a cow that was eventually spotted in Warzone, so yeah, the cow did make it into the big battle royale thing as well. However, as far as we can tell, we haven't seen the return of cows ever since. With the release of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and Call of Duty Vanguard, no cows have been found just yet. However, the search does continue. Now, of course, we said earlier in this video that these cows actually may have a significance beyond just being this self-referential joke, but with the original Call of Duty games taking so many inspirations over the years from various movies based on World War II times, it's not overly crazy to think that the original joke of no cows being harmed in the making of this game and just the ongoing joke of having cows appear throughout Call of Duty games may actually be an homage to a few different movies that have released over the years that involve both World War II and cows, surprisingly enough. For instance, Saving Private Ryan is probably one of the most notable films that the Call of Duty franchise has taken inspiration from, and it's very much so more than likely that the sequence involving the cows in the movie played a part in the decision to include the cows in Call of Duty, likely as an homage to that film, which is really one of the greatest World War II movies ever made. But there's actually a couple other films that also may have inspired the Infinity Ward team into starting this Easter egg. The movie The Cow and I, released in 1959 and was one of the most successful films in France that year with over 8 million seats sold. And it's a story about a French prisoner of war during World War II forced to work in a farm in Germany, and he decides that he's gonna escape by walking away with a cow named Margaret. There also was another World War II movie released in 1951 called Appointment with Venus, which essentially is a film based on the real story of the Alderney cattle evacuation, but in this story, a prized pedigree cow named Venus ends up getting left behind, and that cow is pregnant, so there's like this petition to send a team to go and save this cow. I don't know, the story sounds absolutely wild. There's like a chase scene with a German E-boat, and they have to take it out with a Royal Navy motor torpedo boat or something. And while this sounds kind of goofy, like we said, all of the Call of Duty games have heavily taken inspiration from various movies over the years. It's not too crazy to think they maybe watched a couple of these movies that have cows involved in them and just kind of thought that it's a funny ongoing gag to maybe hint at the no cows were harmed in the making of this game thing. Actually, for a little while, there were rumors suggesting that Ewan McGregor would star in a remake of this movie, though it doesn't seem like anything ever actually came from this. This ultimately just ends up being one of those Easter eggs that have existed over the course of well over a decade at this point that has just been a recurring trend trend throughout the years. And even if every game doesn't end up having the Easter egg, it's still a really cool nod to acknowledge that this has been a reference throughout many different eras of the Call of Duty franchise. And that even to this day, there's still a fan base that is willing to look out and spot these things if they do come up once again. We do think it's interesting how, for the most part, Infinity Ward has kept some sort of subtle nod to the previous Call of Duty games, and that's something we hope we see continue throughout the upcoming years. But we wanted to turn it around to you guys. Have you ever noticed these cows before? Was this absolutely a waste of time? If you're new to this channel, make sure you are subscribed with notifications for more wastes of time just like this. Thank you guys all so much for watching. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.